Hello, it's 4 p.m. Good afternoon and welcome to NEWSFLASH. My name is Nanenche. We're bringing you updates of all the running stories here in the country, Ghana and beyond. In the next 30 minutes, please stay. Health Minister say contract with Sheikh Ahmed Dalmouk Al Maktoum to supply Sputnik V vaccines terminated. Education Ministry terminate contract for supply of mathematical instruments. And later on your bulletin, an extension of deadline will help complete outstanding enumeration areas. Thank you very much for your time. Now to our first story. Dr. Yao Seyoducho, Minister of Education, has informed Parliament that the contract awarded to Bluegrass Group Limited for the supply of keepsake scientific mathematical instrument has been terminated for breach of contract. According to the Minister of Education, the contract was terminated as a result of non-performance on the part of the supplier and was done in line with Section 24(1)(a) of the General Conditions of the Contract. Dr. Duchum made the revelation when he appeared before the House to respond to questions from Dr. Clement Apag, Member of Parliament for Bolsa South. Dr. Apag wanted to know from the Ministry if Messrs. Bluegrass Group Limited has supplied 853,009 units of CAPEX scientific mathematical instrument to the Ministry of Education at an estimated cost of 63,975,675 cedis at a unit cost of 75 cedis. The Minister of Education also explained that the Ministry of Education on the 11th of October 2019 signed a contract with Messrs. Bluegrass Group Limited to supply a total number of 853 and 9 CAPEX scientific mathematical instruments prescribed by the West Africa Examination Council for senior high schools at a unit cost of 75 cedis. He made this contract was amended and signed by both parties on October 22, 2020 to extend the deadline for the submission of mathematical instrument to January 19, 2021. He said so for Messrs. Bluegrass Group Limited was able to supply 406,060 of the mathematical instruments that he were contracted to do at a tune of 31,204,500 Ghana cedis out of a total quantity of 853,009 units of the supplier per the contract. Let's now take our next story. The Ministry of Education has defended the outfit's decision to purchase this 568,755 past questions for the 2020 candidate of the West Africa Examination Council during their certificates last year, an amount of 33,641,000 Ghana cedis through a single source procurement contract. The minister insists the intervention reflected in the 2020 WASI examination results.
Who went to village schools. I never saw past questions. Past questions, I never saw one until I got to high school, Kumasi High School, and I said, wow, there's something called past questions, and there is examiner's report that you can even have access to. So for students in deprived schools, giving them access to previous examination questions, and not just questions, it's questions and answers, an examiner's report. Last year, the ministry procured for the students, and the cost was 71.25. This year, the cost is 78, given the fact that they've added 2 more years of past questions and answers and examiners' reports over a period of time. And that is the fact. And that is what the ministry has done. That is what we referred to on the floor of Parliament in terms of the procurement that was done. If it didn't work, then you can say it was too much. Students were supported. There are some students who don't have the resources to have access to the things that some of us take for granted. And we can pontificate about a number of things, but when it comes to education of our children, especially those who are in deprived communities, for whom this is a luxury, I think it was a good investment by the ministry during the last term, and the results is out there for everybody to see that it really supported the students. The pupil-teacher ratio of 21 is one of the best in the world. If it is even across the country, that's one of the best things that will have happened to the country. The challenge you have is that you go to a place where, because of deployment challenges, their rate may be very high. And then you go to certain places in the cities and the pupil-teacher ratio is significantly less. So the issue is not so much about the fact that it's 21. If you have 21 students to a teacher, it's not a bad thing. It's a very good thing. Unfortunately, there may be some communities where you may have 50 or 60, and other communities may be about 10 or 15, and that is what the Ghana Education Service is working on, to ensure that it will be more even.
Let's still stay in matters about education, where the Deputy Minister for the Education Ministry, John Ntimfo-Adjoa, and leadership of the Ghana National Association of Teachers have assured aggrieved teachers that the challenges with their promotion will be duly addressed. The commitment follows the protest by the teachers earlier this week at the premises of the Ghana Education Service, the Ministry of Education, and the Ghana National Association of Teachers. We'll bring you a set of the protest and concerns, then the response from the NAT body and as well as the Deputy Minister of Education.
You have to bring our document, then you cross the distance, all of a sudden, then you tell them sorry you have failed, and you are happy. You are happy. Is the person sick when he was seated by the machine? You know what to do to get your script.
Is it a crime to be a teacher? Not why. If you can't do the work, step down. If you can't do your work, step down. If you don't know your work, step down.
We are a group of teachers that have been denied our promotion rights. What we are due, we have been denied it. And so we have come here to seek redress.
Leadership is working on your issue. Let me finish. At the moment, even my boss is not with us, he's in a meeting. We have listened and heard all the issues that you have raised. We are also going back to the drawing board. Some new information have been received. We'll get back to the drawing board, discuss with the management of the Ghana Education Service. Then we will get back to you at an appropriate time.
I must indicate that your petition has been received. I have met your leaders. Even beyond reading your petition, we have sat down and listened extensively to your leaders. They have explained all the nuances and the very core challenges and the grievances that you have and the interest that you seek redress on. We have taken notice of them. The Minister, Dr. Yao Osei Educhum, has also received the petition in good faith. So you can be assured that we shall investigate and then address the matters you have raised to ensure that you have the sound mind to continue effective teaching in the various classrooms that we are fortunate and privileged to have.
Away from education, the health minister says government's contract with middleman Sheikh Al Maktoum Dal has been terminated. The country made this decision when they met the Sheikh after issues about the whole middleman came up. Addressing the parliamentary committee investigating the contract, Kwabena Yeboah, the Minister of Health, said the businessman wrote to his outfit on Wednesday to terminate the contract. He revealed that Sheikh Maktoum's reason for the decision was because he's struggling to raise the vaccines. The government signed a purchase contract of 3.4 million doses of the vaccine after it received an initial 15,000 doses from Sheikh Al Maktoum on Wednesday, March 3, 2021. According to the minister, Sheikh Maktoum had brought the initial consignment to demonstrate the availability of the commodity. However, the supplier decided to withdraw from the contract after several attempts to get the vaccine from the manufacturers yielded no results. Now, the Ghana Health Service has debunked reports that there are no availability for intensive care unit beds in the country to handle recent surge in critical COVID-19 cases. The Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Patrick Kumabwaje, insisted that enough interventions have been put in place to avert any potential disaster in the wake of the surge, specifically responding to report that the ICUs in the country are unable to admit any more critical patients because there are no more available beds. Dr. Kumabwaje indicated that there is no such situation at hand.
Our ICUs are not full. Let me give an example. Ridge has 16-bed ICU. As we speak now, there are only 3. I wouldn't say only. There are 3 cases there. Yesterday there were 8. There are 5. Yesterday there were 8. 3 have been discharged. 2 more have been discharged today, and so that's what brings the number to about 3. Ghana East has about 19 cases currently on admission, 6 in ICU. We have more than 20 ICU beds in there, so it's not full. These are just the 2 areas I can talk about. There's a plan to upgrade further with support from the COVID fund, increase the ICU capacity at Ridge Hospital very soon to add that. So both Accra and Kumasi, yes. Like I said, the critical cases have increased, but we are not overwhelmed yet, and we don't hope to be overwhelmed. And our ICU beds are not full. Yeah, the last time there was some circulation going on, ICU full, ICU. In fact, the doctor said he never said that, so it's really not full. And there is enough oxygen for the current cases that we have there. So that's just to let you know. So ICUs are not full. But I think we all have to adhere to the protocols, the mask wearing, hand washing, especially workplaces. So let's make sure that we have done the decongestion, we have the sanitizer at the right places, the flow of people are also controlled. In schools, the number of people go to dining hall at a time. We have said parents or people should not visit boarding schools, all the same, to ensure that these things are help us. And so, yes.
We take you back to matters bordering on education, where the Executive Director for Africa Education Ward, Kofi Asari, has been responding to government decision to help the supply and procurement of 68 million Ghana cedis on the past questions for 2020 and 2021 WASSCE candidates.
I have a different view of the past question issue. If government believes that past questions enhances performance of student in examination, perhaps riding on the back of last year's past questions and the last year's WASSCE results, I have no evidence to challenge that. Indeed, whatever the child needs to prepare them adequately for examination, I am fully in support of government providing same once government can afford it. But my challenge is this: how sustainable is it to be buying 35 million worth of past questions every year for Ghanaian students, when some of the students at the basic school level are sitting on the bare floor, lying on their bellies and writing on the floor? They don't have books, they don't have desks, and about 5,000 schools are taking place under trees. How do you justify such expenditures? You understand? Yeah. Because the education sector must be seen as a holistic entity and not just secondary education. No, the raw material is produced at the basic level. If the quality of the raw material is deficient, you will not have quality at the secondary level. So you don't spend money like this at the secondary level and deprive basic education of such resources. The point I'm making is that we have textbooks in secondary schools. Textbooks are used by students and left over. Textbooks are used for as long as 5 years in schools before government replaces them. Why is it that for textbooks, students can reuse and reuse textbooks for up to 5 years before government replaces them? But when it comes to past questions, government approaches it as a disposable. Every year you are buying close to 500,000 past questions every year. Why can't students use the past questions, leave some over? Next year, the next batch will come and use them, hand them over for at least 3 years, just as we have been doing for textbooks. That is where I want the discussion to focus on. Issues relating to sustainability and cost efficiency. We need to begin to move from the era of students taking away past questions when they leave. At the end of the day, the past questions we are talking about are used by students maximum 6 weeks. I repeat, maximum 6 weeks. Compared to textbooks that are used by students throughout the whole academic year for between 3 and 5 years. As we speak, the past questions are not ready yet. They are not in the schools. They will arrive in the schools perhaps in August. That will be just 1 month before examination. So the engagement students will have with the past question will be between 4 and 6 weeks. Why should the student take that past question away for government to have a reason to spend another 35 million next year again on past questions? I'm sorry. An economy that relies on loans, an education system that relies heavily on loans to survive, should not be seen spending its cash resources, its credits or procured loans in this manner. We need to be a bit more diligent in spending so that we can save money and redistribute resources to other sectors of the economy. There is no basis for single sourcing the compilation of past questions and answers and examiners reports. There's actually no basis. Why are we saying this? Because one, the company that have been sole sourced that have been single sourced to do this work is not even a publisher. Kingdom Books is not a publishing company. They are a bookshop. And apart from that, the fact that last year it was single sources to Kingdom Books doesn't mean that it was right. I'm sorry. We believe that, as His Excellency the President indicated sometime in 2016, this country has a big problem, and our problem is that we have made single source and restricted procurement a norm instead of an exemption.
You're still watching NEWSFLASH here on Metro Television. Let's take a short break. We'll be back with more stories.
The search for a reliable partner in dealing with your U-turn bus needs has been made easier and convenient with SA Automobile. SA Automobile, formerly U-turn Ghana Limited, has been in the business of offering quality U-turn products and services at competitive rates. At SA Automobile, our team of expert staff, management, engineers, and mechanics professionally deal in the sale of U-turn buses, genuine spare parts, its repairs and maintenance at our highly effective workshop with remarkable speed. We also have available the sale of Camel car batteries, Weichai and Kia spare parts, Zonton coaches and light-duty vehicles for everyday movement. Contact us on 020-000-0831 or 054-555-7500. You can also email us info@saautomobilegh.com or visit our website at www.saautomobilegh.com. SA Automobile, the pleasure of doing business with you is all ours.
Now in Ghana on Metro TV. Showing every Sunday evening, prime time 5 to 5:30 p.m. with a catch-up on Wednesdays 4 to 4:30 p.m.
Kids always say what they wanna.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
You're welcome from the break, and let's now take you to Parliament, where the Member of Parliament for Sen Central, Kwabena Yeboah, has been referred to Parliament's Privileges Committee over contemptuous comment and threat made against multimedia journalist Erastus Asare-Donkor. The request was made by MP for Tamale North Alhassan Sohini and granted by the Speaker Albert Bagbin. The Privileges Committee is chaired by First Deputy Speaker Joe Osei Owusu. Listen to Alhassan Sohini speak on the floor of Parliament.
Mr. Speaker, my basis is on the conduct of the said member on his own television network, which has caused another network, Joy FM, to refer him to the CID for investigation. Mr. Speaker, the letter from Multimedia to the CID quotes what he said on his show. Mr. Speaker, I also have a copy of the said program as attached to the petition sent to the CID. And this letter by Multimedia is dated July 13, 2021, where he is copiously referred to as the chairman of the Committee of Defense and Interior. And, Mr. Speaker, for those utterances to be attributed to the committee chairman of this House, Mr. Speaker, I think it calls for the attention of this House, for the chairman of the Committee of Defense and Interior to go public and urge that the President, the Commander-in-Chief, beats people, physically assaults people. He says, and I quote, Mr. Speaker, that if he were the President of Ghana, he would have ensured that the said journalist, Erastus Asare-Donkor, is beaten mercilessly. Mr. Speaker, he says that, in fact, Erastus Asare-Donkor should be beaten seriously. And, Mr. Speaker, this comes in the wake of another such utterances he made in relation to Ahmed Swale, which led, in the view of some people, to the identity of Ahmed Swale being compromised and eventually murdered. Mr. Speaker, I think that as a former journalist, I feel obliged, Mr. Speaker, to draw the House's attention to this conduct of an honorable colleague of this House, which in my view, brings this House into disrepute.
The Speaker is given the discretion, says may refer any questions of privileges. I think that is why the honorable member is seeking my intervention to refer the matter to the Privileges Committee. This is my first time of hearing this matter. As it is now, I am compelled to refer it to the Privileges Committee.
Now, the Ghana Journalists Association has condemned the alleged threat on the life of Erastus Asare-Donkor, a broadcast journalist with Kumasi-based Love FM, a member of Parliament for Sen Central, Kwabena Yeboah. Addressing a press conference yesterday, President of the association, Afro Money, said the threat is a form of impunity against journalists in the country and must be condemned. Metro News' Elvis Ando was at the event and has come through with this report. Okay, we'll be bringing you much more on this story and the subsequent bulletin. My name is Nana Nchi. Thanks for being part of this story. See you.